Hi, this is Anita Jagt, and I decided to do this video for a number of reasons, but a very, very important reason, and I wanted to reach out, and I wanted to talk to three groups of people, which really are connected anyway, but I had this conversation with my son, Jonathan, when we took the long trek across the country from Virginia up to Ohio and then out to Iowa to drop him off. He travels the country during the summer with Drum Corps International, Blue Stars, Go Blue Stars. And we had time to just kind of chat and to talk about a few things and talk about things that were on our heart. Jonathon and I have a tendency to get into some deep, deep conversations. And one of the conversations we had was a very serious conversation about something that's just happening way too often, and really kind of shoved under the carpet and not talked about a whole lot. And that is the amount of teen suicide and young adult suicide and homeless young teens and adults, of gays and lesbians and transgender individuals, because their parents disown them, or because their churches disown them, or because their community disowns them. And somehow along the way, which is understandable with some of the way our society has treated these young men and women, they believe that they aren't worthy, that they aren't loved, and that they aren't good enough. And so, they either end up reaching that ultimate decision to take their lives, which, wow, and for Jonathon to tell me that he thought about that, and that the way he was being treated in middle school and high school, made him think about that. But thank God he had the support of us to help him through those challenging times, so that he came to the realization that he valued himself and he loved himself and he had potential and he had gifts and to share and to be able to move on, and he's doing so well. But he's really concerned and worried about those individuals out there that don't have that support and that end up on the streets and in drugs, prostituting themselves, or whatever else happens to these young individuals that don't feel worthy and they're on the streets. It's huge. It's a lot bigger than what we want to believe. Jonathon took a class at Indiana University, and they talked about this subject and how really prevalent homeless teens are in the gay and lesbian community and transgender community. So I wanted to reach out and I wanted to talk to you, the teenagers and the young adults who are gay and lesbian and transgender. And I want you to know that you are loved, and you are worthy, and you are creative, beautiful human beings that have gifts to share with the world. You are. And if you aren't finding that in your community, if you aren't finding that in your family, if you're not finding that in your religion, reach out, because there are people out here who will love you and validate you and make you help you get to that space where you can move inward and understand the value of who you are, because ultimately you have to do that. Ultimately, it's you who needs to value and love yourself and to find your gifts and your worthiness, because you are worthy. It's already there. You just have to find it. And I know it's hard, because sometimes out here we let people and things and circumstances out here dictate who we are and who we become and what we do. But in the reality, the truth is, you didn't come here, you weren't placed here without value. Just your being here proves that you are loved and you are of the divine and you are a creative, valuable soul on this planet. And those people that have made you feel less than or worthless is the word, They're the ones with the issue. They have the problem, not you. Don't let others value and dictate who you are. Don't let others make you feel less than, so less than that you feel like you need to leave this planet. Because you are valued. Just the fact that you're here means that there's something that you are bringing to this planet. I value you, and I love you, and I find you very worthy. And there are many other people out here that will too. So if you need to reach out, and for a lot of you might not even have access to this, so those of you who are accessing this and know individuals, help them to see this, or make a video yourself, or go talk to them yourselves, and get them someplace where they can get some assistance, because there's a lot of organizations out there now. There's organizations popping up all the time now for helping the homeless, gay and lesbian and transgender population. So just reach out there and find those resources. It takes courage to reach out and ask for help, especially when you haven't gotten that support and value from other people. It's always worrisome that you feel like you're just going to be abandoned again, or you're just going to be ridiculed again for who you are. But there are people out here who will support you and love you. And I want to talk to the families. I want to talk to parents who may be struggling with the fact that their son or daughter or somebody they know has come out and said that that they're attracted to the same sex, or that they're transgender. They want to be a different sex, or feel more masculine than they do feminine, or maybe you're too fat. Even if it goes beyond even just the the gay and lesbian and the transgender population. It's, oh, you're too fat, or you're too thin, or you're ugly, or you're too pretty. I just heard a story the other day of a girl who was just ostracized during school because she was too pretty. The girls were jealous because the boys were more attracted to her than they were to them. And so they treated her horribly. So as parents, I want you to know that you're not alone. People struggle. They struggle with the fact that, oh my gosh, I've been taught this, and my religion tells me this, and here I am with this son or daughter that I love, and yet they're not fitting into the mold of what I think they should be. And so it is a process. So instead of turning your back on your son or daughter, or turning them away because of your belief system, why don't you reach out and get some help and some assistance that will assist you in helping you to love and experience them unconditionally, and to allowing them to be who they are, so that they can be authentic. Because this is the fact of the matter. If you're asking people to be less than who they are, then why have the relationship with them at all? Why have somebody come to a family gathering and pretend that they are something that they're not? It's not authentic. It's not respectful. It's not right. So if you're having problems, reach out and get help. It is a process, and you will be honored at each step of that process. And the last group that I want to talk to are young teens and anybody out there who finds it necessary to degrade or devalue or bully. Get yourself some help. Find the value inside yourself, because I always believe people who need to hate others or treat others with disrespect, or degrade them or bully them, usually it's because inside themselves they don't value themselves, or somebody along the way has treated them that way. So I ask you also, you teenagers, you young adults, don't stand by, or anybody, parents, teachers, school systems like the one that told my son to lay low. That's how they dealt with it, lay low, as he was being bullied and harassed. instead of doing that, why don't we not allow it to happen? Because as one parent said after her son committed suicide, if you stand by and let it happen, you're just as guilty as the other person. Now, that's pretty harsh, but I think from my perspective, I feel like I am participating in it if I don't speak up. It's happened to me a few times in my life. And it didn't feel so good the times that I didn't speak up. And it felt like the right thing to do when I did in certain situations. So I'm just asking you all to be open to guidance, and opening your hearts, and let's help these young people to not move to that space of where they think that they aren't worthy, so unworthy that they're going to take their lives. And let's help that population that is out on the street and struggling to find themselves because everybody in their life disowned them, and they feel abandoned, they feel unworthy, and they feel worthless, and they feel like there's no other alternative than to just be on the streets and doing drugs and prostituting themselves and getting into trouble. Let's reach out. Let's have a heart. And I thank you each and every day, Jonathon Henry Jagt, for being the beacon of light that you have been in my life and in our family's life. We know you've been through a lot of challenges, and you've stepped up to the plate, and you've taught me and your father more than you could ever know. And I want to reach out to everybody else and just say, you know, you are loved. Love yourself. Find the worthiness within inside yourself. You are worthy. You are loved. You are valuable. You are creative, and you have gifts to bring to this world. I know that. That was one of the hugest things that I took away from my yoga teachings and practice, is that I am loved, I am worthy, and I have gifts, and the world is waiting for you. Everybody. So, peace, love, and light, everybody. Enjoy your life. That's what we're here to do. And let's help others do the same. Let's help others find their value instead of trying to fit everyone in these little pegs that we think they need to be in. Take care and have a beautiful day. Lots of love. Bye-bye.